All right, so Star Wars fans, Unlimited fans, card game fans, anyone else just love a good dose of speculation and maybe a little bit of fear.
Well, you've come to the right place.
That's right, because we are diving headfirst into the huge news, or, well, lack of news, swirling around that leaked image of, what is it, Darth Vader's TIE fighter.
Plastered across something that looks suspiciously like a collector booster pack,
And the internet, let me tell you, the internet is having a moment.
to say the least.
So, for anyone just tuning in, maybe you've been living under a rock on Tatooine. Star Wars. Unlimited, it's a newish trading card game, and, well, it's still finding its footing, right?
Trying to make the jump to hyperspace.
Exactly. But this collector booster thing, if it's real, it's got everyone wondering, is it going to be a force push in the right direction?
Or send us spiraling into a black hole of despair.
Theatrics aside, there's a lot to unpack here. We've got leaked images, Reddit threads bursting at the seams, and, oh yeah, zero official confirmation from Fantasy Flight Games.
Which, as we know, just makes the speculation even more rampant.
So before we get into the nitty-gritty of it all, let's just, for those who haven't picked up a deck of cards since the last big craze, what are we even talking about here? What is a collector booster?
Right, so in the simplest terms, imagine your standard booster pack, but then crank it up to, like, 11. We're talking rarer cards, special versions, maybe even cards you can only get in these packs.
Okay, so like that Luke Skywalker card you love, but now it's got like a special foiling that makes it look like it's actually using force speed.
You're getting it, and that, my friend, is what's got everyone in a tizzy.
Yeah, I've been scrolling through that Reddit thread, and wow, the reactions are all over the map. Some people are like, shut up and take my money, and others are like, this is the end of Star Wars, unlimited as we know it.
It's a fascinating microcosm of the hopes and fears of an entire community, all focused on this one potential product.
It really highlights that tension, doesn't it? Between a company needing to, make money and also wanting to keep its player base happy.
Right, because if the game becomes too expensive or if it feels unfair, you risk alienating a huge chunk of your players.
Exactly. And that's the fear a lot of people on that Reddit thread are voicing. They're worried that Star Wars Unlimited is about to become MTG 2.0.
MTG 2.0.
Magic. The Gathering. The OG trading card game. And let's just say they've got a bit of a complicated history with collector boosters themselves. Oh boy, so we're talking cautionary tale territory.
Maybe. But before we dive into all that, let's acknowledge the other side of the coin. Because not everyone is ready to jump to light speed out of the fandom just yet. Some people are actually excited about these collector boosters.
Really? So it's not all doom and gloom on the forums. Tell me more.
Well, you've got your hardcore collectors, right? The ones who live for that thrill of the chase, tracking down that rare variant, having something truly unique.
Makes sense. It's the same reason people collect anything, right? Stamps, coins, vintage action figures.
Exactly. It's the thrill of the hunt. And then you have the folks who see this as potentially good for the game, even if they don't plan on buying these collector boosters themselves.
Now, that, I'll admit, I don't quite follow. How does making something more expensive make the game better for everyone else?
Think of it this way. If all the big spenders, the whales, are laser focused on getting those super rare cards from the collector boosters, the demand for the regular cards, the ones most people use, might actually go down.
And if demand goes down?
Prices might follow. It's a gamble for sure, but hey, in the world of trading card games, isn't it all a gamble in the end?
So are we saying there's a chance, a slight glimmer of hope, that these collector boosters, these harbingers of potential doom,
Could actually make Star Wars Unlimited more affordable?
it's a long shot, I'll grant you that, but hey, even in the vastness of space, sometimes the Force works in mysterious ways. But before we get too lost in hypotheticals, let's go back to that MTG 2.0 thing. You've mentioned Magic, the Gathering, a couple of times now. What exactly happened there with collector boosters? Lay it on me.
Right, because to understand the fear, you got to understand the history. So imagine this, you're a Magic player, you've been saving up for that shiny new booster box, hoping to pull that one card, you know the one.
The one that completes your deck, makes it sing, leaves your opponent speechless.
The Holy Grail. But then, bam, collector boosters hit the scene, and suddenly everyone's talking about how these packs have a way higher chance of containing those super rare chase cards. So you're stuck. Do you stick with your tried and true booster packs knowing your chances just got slimmer, or...
Or do you break the bank, take out a second mortgage on your Starship, just for a shot at those collector booster goodies?
And that's the dilemma, right? It's not just about collecting anymore. It's about, can I even compete if I don't buy these more expensive packs?
Because if those super rare cards are mostly locked away in collector boosters, then yeah, that creates a real imbalance in the force, doesn't it?
It's a slippery slope for sure, and that's what people are worried about with Star Wars. Unlimited. Will it be a fun bonus for collectors, or will it become, like you said, a pay-to-win situation?
Right, because we all love shiny things, but not if it means sacrificing the soul of the game.
And that's where Fantasy Flight Games needs to tread carefully. They've got to find that sweet spot.
Speaking of Fantasy Flight Games, they've been awfully quiet amidst all this chaos. No official announcements, no sneak peeks, no, hey, everyone, calm down, we hear you.
It's the silence that's deafening, isn't it? But while they're off, I don't know, meditating on their next move, the community is definitely not staying quiet.
Oh no, that Reddit thread is a hive of activity. Everyone's got a theory, a suggestion, a strongly worded opinion. What are some of the key things you're seeing pop up?
Well, the biggest one, and this is huge, is the fear of exclusive cards. Like game-changing, meta-defining cards that are only available in collector boosters.
Okay, yeah, that's a big one. No one wants to feel like they're being priced out of being competitive.
Exactly. It undermines the whole spirit of the game. Another big one is transparency. People want to know what they're getting into. What are the drop rates? What are the odds?
Because right now, it's all just a black box, right?
Exactly. And that uncertainty, it breeds suspicion. So people are asking for clear communication from Fantasy Flight Games. Tell us what's up.
Don't leave us hanging on the edge of our seats here. So we've got fear of exclusive cards, the need for transparency, anything else, any glimmers of hope in this sea of anxiety.
Well, some people are actually proposing solutions, which I think is great. One idea I've seen is making collector boosters more about the cosmetic stuff.
Okay, so like alternate art, cool foiling, those hyperspace effects we talked about, but not cards that will drastically alter the game.
Right. That way, collectors can still get their fix, but it doesn't create an uneven playing field for everyone else. Another interesting idea is some kind of system where you can earn collector boosters in-game.
Oh, interesting. So it's not just about spending more money. It's about rewarding players for, well, playing the game.
Exactly. It's about making those sought-after packs accessible in a way that feels fair and rewarding. And I think that's what this all boils down to, fairness.
Right. At the end of the day, we all just want a fun, balanced game that we can enjoy. Is that really too much to ask in this galaxy?
Well, it shouldn't be. And honestly, I think Fantasy Flight Games knows that.
It's kind of wild, though, when you think about it.
What's that?
How much power one blurry image of a TIE fighter can have, right? Like, it sparked debates, anxieties, wish lists a mile long, all before Fantasy Flight Games has even uttered a word.
It's a reminder that when a game really grabs a hold of people, it becomes more than just a game. It's an investment, emotionally, maybe even financially.
Big time. And right now, a lot of folks are feeling like that investment is, well, a little shaky. So where does that leave our listener, the one who's maybe just trying to figure out which deck to build next, or how to finally take down that one friend who always seems to have the perfect counter?
That's the thing, isn't it? We can get so caught up in the what-ifs, the potential disasters, that we forget to, actually play the game.
Easier said than done when you've got a galaxy of speculation swirling around you. So what's the solution? How do we balance that healthy dose of skepticism with, actually enjoying the ride?
For starters, remember that feeling you had when you first saw that leaked image? That little jolt of, hold on, what is this? Hold on to that, because that's your cue to engage.
Okay, so not just doom scrolling through Reddit, but actually doing something. What does that look like?
Well, when Fantasy Flight Games does break their silence, and they will, we need to be ready. And I don't mean ready with pitchforks and angry tweets.
More like lightsabers of well-reasoned arguments.
Now you're getting it. If you see a concern raised online that resonates with you, don't just like it. Comment on it. Explain why it matters. Because a flood of well-thought-out feedback, that's harder to ignore than 1,000 angry emojis.
So it's about making our voices heard, but doing it constructively.
Exactly, because at the end of the day, Fantasy Flight Games, they're not the evil empire here. They're fans, just like us.
Who want to see their game thrive, which means a happy, engaged player base is kind of important.
Exactly. This isn't a one-way transmission. It's a conversation. We speak up, they listen, hopefully, and together maybe we can navigate this hyperspace jump without, crashing into an asteroid field of despair.
And hey, even if worst case scenario, some of the changes aren't ideal, that doesn't mean it's game over, right?
Right. Communities adapt. New cards bring new strategies, new possibilities, and sometimes those unexpected turns can actually make the game even more interesting. Remember when everyone thought that one blue deck was unbeatable?
Oh, don't remind me. I was stuck playing it for weeks.
Ah.
But you're right. Things change. The meta evolves. Hopefully for the better.
And that evolution, it often happens because the players themselves speak up, make their voices heard. So yeah, don't underestimate the power of a well-placed comment, a thoughtful suggestion. You never know, you might just shape the destiny of the galaxy.
Or at least the destiny of our favorite card game.
There you go.
Well, on that note, I think it's time for us to power down our lightsabers for this deep dive.
Until the next big announcement, at least.
Oh, there will be a next time. But until then, may your pulls be legendary, and may the Force be with you, always.